Hello, I'm with Eric Hutchinson, who's the CEO of Spirent Communications, and he's going to be sharing his thoughts about voice over LTE, since operators are moving towards LTE and rich content services. Eric, thanks for joining us. How do you see that fitting into the mobile ecosystem today?
Well, what we've seen is that carriers have been deploying 4G LTE services on a focused area, regional area, across their networks. They've been going after where you see the most subscriber requirement for high-speed data services, and that's primarily what's being delivered over 4G today. What's happening now is that we now have a proven technology, voice over LTE. Voice over LTE is taking voice traffic and putting it into digital packets, and it's delivering that over the 4G spectrum. That enables you to provide very high definition voice calls. It also means that you can then also provide video conversations over the network. It's good for the carriers. They get better utilization out of their LTE deployments, but it also means that they can free up their 2G and 3G spectrum. That's very valuable. Spectrum's a scarce resource. Being able to move that to 4G traffic is very valuable to them. Plus, deployment of 4G technologies is a much lower cost of operation for the carrier. Where we come in as Spirent is we're able to assure the carriers that the deployments they're making of voice over LTE is high quality. We're able to isolate where they can see lost packets and fix that pre-deployment before they turn it up to a large number of subscribers. So we have well-evolved, recognised capabilities in doing that.
Eric, you're making VoLTE sound like a done deal, but it isn't, is it? How close are their mobile operators to deployment today?
Yeah, so about a dozen operators started deployments last year, about 37 in full-blown deployment now. We'll see that step up significantly in 2016. That's because mainly, as I say, LTE deployments were patchy regionally, so they needed to get that done. We needed to make sure that there's a proven technology, and now we're going through the deployments. That will pick up significantly and rapidly. You'll see that delivery of these new services to subscribers as that gets momentum in the market and people talk about the fantastic quality of voice calls that they will be getting and all the additional capabilities. That will drive further demand and momentum, and the carriers will start to see the efficiencies coming through. Now, there are challenges. So although the technology is a proven one, deploying it in existing networks with all of the legacy technologies that are out there, with the circuit switch voice calls in the background, that's a big challenge for service providers to deploy the technology and make sure that they don't misstep and misfire. Last thing you want to do is disappoint people with the promise of an increase in good service. Again, we're able to demonstrate the interoperability between different devices. So there are smartphones that are out on the market, they're being used in earnest today, they're fully tested, but when you start to do voice over LTE calls, or video calls over the 4G network, you can see degradations and issues on interoperability. Those can be fixed, but you don't detect them without using some of our test systems to show that. And we're also able to do pre-deployment modelling across the network, so you can do turn-up testing before you make the deployment, and again, that delivers better quality of service to everybody.
So with LTE, I might get high voice quality, but tell me more, do I need a new handset as well?
Well, you need a 4G handset. So no, if you've got a 4G handset, it will work on a 4G handset. There will be further enhancements to video quality on those handsets as the results of the testing and assurance come through, and that gets fed back through the development cycle. So we're working in the background on that already. So the next version of the handset will be better. The delivery of the high definition voice call, if you haven't experienced that, you can't really fully appreciate how good an experience that is. It is vastly different. Very, very exciting when you get those calls, you get that really good quality, and you get the good video calls, and then you'll get additional services coming to you as a subscriber behind that. And we're able to model that, we're able to test that, we're able to generate that type of call.
Now, every 10 years, since the telecommunications business is heavily engineer-led, the business rolls out a new standard, so it must be time for 5G. Are we anywhere near a standard yet?
There are developments going through. We haven't got a standardised approach to 5G everywhere at the moment, but remember, it is long-term evolution. So the engineers wanted to get us away from 4G, 5G and so on. That evolution is going on. We're working with the developers on setting those processes to ensure that the performance of the deployment of the new technologies is there. A bit premature to talk about live deployment of that today, but it doesn't stop my customers. When I go and talk to them, they want to take me aside and demonstrate their 6G capability. So maybe we should pause on that one at this stage. But certainly assuring the deployment of voice over LTE, high definition quality calls, video calling, that's something we're at the heart of. We're supporting major carriers who are deploying those services today.
Eric, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.